Hi, welcome to Awakening Soul Truth. I'm Allison Ledbetter, and this is Robbie Short. And we are Reiki teachers, meditation teachers, great examples of living with balanced chakras. And we're here to teach you about the Chakra series today.
Chakras are wheels of life force energy, or like little energetic vortexes in the body.
Mm-hmm.
And the school of thought we're going with through the series is the basic 7 that run up the astral spine. So far we've gone over the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and today is all about the 6th. All of these chakras are encoded with information because energy holds consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we're going to dive into today with the 6th chakra.
The third eye, also known as third eye.
All-seeing eye, mind's eye.
Intuition, open-mindedness.
Imagination, visions.
Seeing the truth.
Yes.
Seeing into the future, prophecy.
Clairvoyance.
Psychic abilities just of any sort, because that is the realm when you bypass the physical brain and you move into the other dimensions, into the mind. You move into the divine mind.
Yeah, this is also, I feel like, about dreams and fantasies as well.
Yes, vision. Whatever you can visualize in your life. Yeah.
And are you allowing intuition to light the way of your life? Because the element for this chakra is light. So a beautiful thing that can help to stimulate the chakra is just being out in the sunlight at different points through the day. Another thing that you can do is just to meditate on this point. My lineage of yoga would always have us, when we're closing our eyes, set our drishti here at the third eye, to stimulate it.
Yeah.
And my lineage of yoga, Ananda yoga, they would have us do certain poses to ignite the energy, to sense and to feel the energy, and then purposely try to drive it up to this point here, because they said this is the place for awakening and enlightenment, whereas the crown chakra is more for freedom, liberation. I even look at the third eye as having a North Pole and a South Pole. And I think of this point being the North Pole and this point near the medulla oblongata, or the base of the skull, being the negative pole because of the parts of the brain.
Oh, interesting.
So the prefrontal lobe of the brain, like highly conscious, and then the brainstem being more of the subconscious.
Or the automatic reaction.
Habitual, yes.
Right. But that brings us to the point that the balance in the chakra is about balancing duality. So the frontal lobe, the temporal lobe, all these lobes balancing to have a divine mind.
Yes, and the symbol for this particular chakra has 2 lotus petals, and it represents physical and spiritual. It also represents transcending duality. So transcending duality, but also transcending the senses, because even though it governs eyes
and vision.
Yes, even though it governs that, the really balanced open mind's eye is able to allow us to transcend the senses to the 6th sense.
Yes. So balancing the 6th sense, living with the 6th sense, I mean, I think is a constant part of my day. Balancing, seeing into another dimensional space, seeing different information, and then living in physical reality. I so much love our physical world, but I do not trust it as my source of guidance. So when this chakra is balanced, it gives you really deep wisdom and guidance. Super deep. And I have kind of in the background of my mind, a space where I can really see into a different reality. And it is magnificent when it's balanced, because I lose my connection to the third dimension being the end all be all, and the constant intellectualization, and the constant world needing to be proved and seen.
Yeah, I have 2 examples of this that I'll share with you. So I was telling Allison yesterday, I went into Walgreens and there was a new gentleman working behind the counter, and someone interrupted us and was wanting to know where the tape was. And he was saying, well, it's down one of these two aisles. He was like, I'm sorry, I can't see down the aisle to tell you which one. And we got into this funny conversation about how we have both not been able to see from a very young age. And he was like, I wonder why that is. I wonder why so many people have such great vision, and then there's others like us who have difficulty from a young age. And I said, maybe we don't want to see what is out here.
Yeah. Talking
about this third dimensional reality. And really, it kind of is a pun, I guess, in a way, of what's happening in the world right now. And he was like, whoa, what? That's so profound. That's it. You pegged it. And, lots of times when you're researching this particular chakra, they'll say if you have a lot of imbalances, or, if the chakra is off, you're going to have problems with your vision. And I don't know, I take a little offense to that, because I feel like
you're a very spiritual being.
I've always been very spiritual.
And clear spiritual sight.
Yes.
But you don't have clear physical sight.
And some of the people I know with the best vision that have had 20/20 vision are some of the most, I shouldn't say close-minded, but not open to the mystical spiritual realm.
Right. They only believe what they see.
So I feel like my blurry vision is due to my discontent in being in this reality.
Right.
In a way.
You do a great job showing up. You're just not having that be your first truth.
Yes.
Your truth
you have a way
that
of
you're
saying
relying on for your information.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we rely on our sixth sense. We rely on the balanced duality being completely balanced. So between the spiritual and the physical. And we rely on the male-female energy being balanced within us. And we take that information, the background information that produces your physical reality or our physical reality, very seriously. It's what I trust. I can't trust a lot of third dimensional beings because they can lie and it's not called out. The lying thing just blows my mind.
Yeah, I tend to trust people to a fault.
Right.
Because I really believe in the good of humanity, and I believe in the beauty of a person's soul. And so I just trust and until I can't anymore.
Right.
Until they've proven to me like, oh.
Yeah, like you're actually hiding things and you're not dealing with the mystical or in that higher wisdom of the higher mind.
And so we've been talking about the higher truths of the chakras. This is seek divine truth.
Yep.
Seek divine truth.
And it's a wonderful place to rely on for that background information. Also, we could talk about people that are over intellectual and block this. They overthink. They're constantly running circles. We were talking about how people that are brainiacs, they need that constant proof, and how we have no need to disprove them. We have the mystical experience. We have the experience of the divine. And with that experience comes these magnificent feelings of security and love and faith and well-being. That doesn't come with overthinking.
No.
Overthinking can produce anxiety, and I have to be right, and my ego's more important, and separate it out. So these are the things you really want to look at when we're balancing this chakra. People with faith who've experienced the divine, we don't try to prove that experience existed because it's an individual experience.
Yeah, it's one of those things you have to experience.
Yeah. And once you do, you're like, oh yeah, got it. I'm in. Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a club. I have so many of my clients actually say when they get awakened and have these experiences, they're like, I can't believe I was living in that other world. It's a distinct world. It's that drastic.
Going back to the argument piece.
Yes. People that argue.
Yeah, that's really where I found myself lately is, when I try to say something or prove a point, if I'm getting backlash from that or pushback from that, it's not that I shut down. I just, it takes too much energy. It takes too much energy to try to prove something that they're not wanting
to see
or open to being proven to them. Yeah, that's it, to see.
They don't want to see it.
This is not the exact same thing, but it correlates with it. My sister, who just went through breast cancer, she's had a horrendous year, and she's clear in her body right now, but they're wanting her to take chemo pills. These pills are $10,000 a piece. And her team of doctors, which she has a wonderful group of doctors and nurses working with her, they've gotten her into this program where she's able to fortunately get this medication for free. I'm sure it's some sort of clinical study or something.
$10,000 a pill.
And we're all on a group text, and she's telling me about it, and I'm so happy for her that she's not going to have this financial strain or this additional stress on just trying to get medicine, on just trying to be well. But at the same time, I sent a message saying, it's just really unfortunate that in the United States of America, a lot of the lobbyists are with drug pharmaceutical companies. It's a shame that a lot of these drugs are made in the USA, but yet we are upcharged tenfold compared to any other country. And I was just kind of making that statement, and she came right back and said, well, it doesn't bother me how much it costs because I know how much research goes into it. But what she's not willing to see, and what a lot of people are not willing to see, is that this research is through government grants that have been paid for by tax dollars. And a lot of this research is donation-based. It's charitable or philanthropists who are giving the money for this research. So there's no reason whatsoever that type of greed, when it concerns someone's health and whether they live or die, it shouldn't be for profit.
No, it shouldn't.
And so even though that's something that's kind of going on with the world, it's almost like they're intellectualizing and excusing something that shouldn't be excused.
You just nailed it on the head. I mean, people are gaining serious profits from things that are already financed.
And this is not to get you riled up or upset.
Oh, no, I think it should get you riled up and upset.
But
I think you should see the truth. And when you see the truth, I think you should have an emotional reaction to it. And you should say, wow, this is a problem in our society. Is this fair? This is not fair. I mean, we brought this up before about the COVID shots, right? Like, those prices are going up. Well, guess what? You already paid for it. You paid for the research behind it. And I mean, I think there's a serious argument about the drug companies being so greedy and so impactful on everybody's lives. I mean, they really prey on people's disabilities and they accentuate them. And, frankly, in my worldview, I don't trust most drugs. I don't.
I don't either.
And I am not a medical scientist. I don't put my energy into that. I think there's some good in Western medicine, but at the end of the day, I'm not taking a pill. I'm not doing it. And that's just my choice. I'm on no pills. 0.
I think first of all, I want to say third eye is
easily blocked by pharmaceuticals.
It's oh, yes, it is.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, it is.
As well as other things. But the point of yoga and meditation and pranayama and Reiki, a lot of the things that we work with is meant to cleanse the lens.
Yeah, I love that.
To cleanse the lens so that it's not filtered.
Yeah, so you can see the whole reality.
Yes.
Have you ever seen those movies where they... all of a sudden you can see the geometrical shapes behind it or the energy behind it? I just want you all to take a second and understand that life force energy and the divine matrix is animating energetically everything in our world. it shines. We have little light, little electrons, which are little tiny sacks of light, exist in everything. And when they're more condensed, the lighter it is. And our mind has the power to influence that.
Yeah, and I think when my vision, I've already shared this on here, but I've had a few times where my vision like changed and it would wave, and it would be very diamondy and shiny and bright. And you can also get this from plant medicine. In fact, I don't know if you've noticed, but it seems like more so, I mean, plant medicine's been around forever, but it seems like since the pandemic, there's been more and more documentaries and more studies coming out saying how plant medicine can be used for mystical and spiritual experiences, expanding, or breakthroughs, or therapy, or deep healing. And not that I'm promoting a lot of plant medicine here, but plant medicine is something that allows you to see the geometric shapes, and to see the energy that is
animating behind all living things.
Yes.
It literally is a life force energy animating everything, and that contains information just like your chakras do. And when you open up your third eye, when you wake it up, when you use it on a regular basis, all that information is available for you. It's a win-win. Like, why would you not want all that information available to you? I do. I want to know what's coming at me. I want to know what's blooming. I want to know where I can find joy.
So this type of plant medicine is the plant medicine is starting to become available and legal in certain states.
Yeah.
And
they usually have a physical guide.
You usually have a guide. You have to be careful though, because some people will go to like Peru or somewhere else like to seek out a shaman, and there are wonderful shamans out there that do guide and take you through these ceremonious rituals. However, you also need to be really cautious, because just like anywhere in the world, there's also some fakes out there who will totally take advantage of you. But my point is, I was giving Reiki to a physician the other day. And she was telling me she just started doing plant medicine to deal with her trauma, because she has worked for 30 years with Buddhism and meditation and, you know, doing her own research and doing her own reading. And there's just another breakthrough. Well, some of her childhood trauma, she just hasn't gotten completely healed or broken through. And she's trying this route. And she found out that the person that she's using is also connected to another physician in this area who opens up their house and their land specifically for the ability for people to come to the land, to have these experiences and to have these breakthroughs.
Oh, wow.
So this is becoming more and more common, is my point. However, I do want to mention at the end of the Yoga Sutras, it talks about, yes, drugs can get you there. However, try all these other things.
Yeah.
Because the drugs can sometimes be temporal. You might have a breakthrough, you might have an awakening, but it may not stick.
Right. And when you truly have a spiritual awakening moment where that wisdom comes through, it actually resonates in every cell of your body so profoundly, and it just stays there. It's almost like synthetic versus organic.
Yes.
And it counts, and you can do it. And just, you know, some drugs are synthetically placing what you need in your body. I get that. Sometimes we need things in our body, and they give us breakthroughs, and they give us balance.
But I think going back to what you said, we've done certain practices for so long, we don't really feel like we need that anymore. Right. It's like,
it's just our day-to-day experience now. And it's really, I know that to be true, because I'll talk to my teenagers and they're just like, oh my God, they roll their eyes. They're like, are you serious? This is your day? Like, yeah. And so maybe I should teach them that before they dabble.
Yeah.
in the fake version.
Yeah. I need to tell Gabe too.
Yeah, we need a whole
We need to sit them down. We should sit them down together.
Yeah, I think we need a whole training course for kids on how to access the spiritual realm versus the drug realm.
Yeah, I joined a parental meeting for my son's school. He goes to
nice.
Nashville School of the Arts, and they're very open-minded. And anyway, I was on a Zoom parent conference thing, and they're having issues with children, you know, teenagers, cutting themselves.
Oh.
You know what I mean? And then the drugs. And it's like all the typical teen issues that come up, eating disorders.
That cutting themselves thing really freaks me out.
It freaks me out too. So I piped up and I was like, hey, I teach yoga. I would love to come in and teach mindfulness or teach pranayama or teach meditation. And they came back to me and said, oh, we're working with Small World Yoga, which is a great organization, nonprofit here in Nashville. And they're going to come in and do yoga. And I'm like, yes. They're amazing. And yes, I'm so happy you're going to partner up with them. But what I want to teach is different. I actually want to sit them down and teach them the big yoga. I don't want to do yoga poses with them. Let Small World Yoga do that.
Yeah.
I want to sit down and really teach yogic philosophy and mindfulness to see if it helps, to give them tools.
Yeah, to have them access the now
because you can do all the sun salutations in the world, but that's not going to enlighten you.
No, right? But eventually, I mean, I think the movement can
you get breakthroughs for sure.
Yeah. But enlightenment is that bigger picture, the balancing of duality. Enlightenment really can happen in this chakra in a really big way. The chakra then connects you with your crown chakra. Like, this is an amazing space for enlightenment.
It's a gateway.
It's
a gateway.
Absolutely. And can I just say, a lot of people, I don't know if you're experiencing this, you know, when you visualize or try to focus on the chakra and you are looking at it, and some people get the blue. Mine does white, if not yellow. I do like a gold color or solid white in that chakra. I have a really hard time relating to, well, no, I just got the blue, so there you go. Never mind.
I was going to say I use white, gold, and blue mainly anyway.
Yeah, for every chakra. Yeah, we're just blue people.
So the color, we didn't mention it, is indigo blue, what we're trying to present here.
Right.
And what was I going to say about the Hindu deity is Shakti Hakini, which is an androgynous deity that has both the masculine, the feminine.
The balance.
The balance. Duality. Again, but it's also, yes, it's the balance, but it's also like transcending that the identity of I'm this or that.
Yeah.
We're more than that.
Yes.
And then the
sound.
The sound is A lot of people just say om, but it's actually
so can you do it? Wait, start all over because I'm gonna put it in.
Feels good when you chant it.
Do it again.
I'm not a vocalist. And one time I had a vocalist in my group when I was chanting Om. And they spoke up and said, what note is that? Because I can't find it. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm tone deaf. Like, really? Like,
well, when we do our retreat, which is
coming from the heart.
Right. When we do that, we're going to have the sound bowls to help people resonate in that sound. And then you can do your own.
I'll just chime the bowl.
Right? No,
I'll let you guys do that.
I think I'm gonna pitch in with the voice.
Okay,
I think it'd be wonderful.
Yeah, pitch in with the voice.
Shall we meditate?
One more thing.
Okay.
Saturn.
Oh, is the planet?
It's related to the planet of Saturn because Saturn is dark blue and it's the feminine type of energy, which helps to transcend limitations. Right? So it's all the transcending the senses, right? The senses can be our limitation.
Yeah.
Transcending the veil or breaking through the veil, which we've talked about in our earlier videos, if you want to go back and look.
And we forgot to mention that this chakra is joy. the experience of joy is because we transcend everything, and that is the space of enlightenment, is to feel an emptiness and joy at the same time. So that's a divine aspect of the third. Yep, third eye.
So we're going to do a meditation for the third eye, for the sixth chakra. And since the element is light, we're going to focus on the different light rays all the way up to this point. So let's go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. And for a moment, just tune into your body. Feel the surface you're sitting upon. And be mindful of your breaths. Deepening the breath. Developing this intimacy with your breath, because intimacy can be broken down to mean into me, I see. And the next time you breathe out, follow it all the way down to the base of your spine. Envisioning a red ray of light shining across the pelvic floor and down through your legs and feet. And once this area is aglow with red, you're going to take a deep breath in and follow it upstream to the second chakra, to the lower band of the belly and back. Picturing an orange ray of light. Let this swim around through the hips, through the pelvic region. And then on your next breath, breathe it up above the navel into the solar plexus, envisioning the yellow ray of light, and let it burn bright. On your next breath in, breathe up into your heart space. And around the chest and the upper back, envision a green ray of light. Allow it to even spread across to the shoulders and down through the arms and hands. On the next breath in, breathe up to the throat, picturing aqua or that Caribbean blue color. And let's continue to cross this rainbow bridge of light up to the brow, picturing a blue ray of light. And allow this blue ray of light to bloom into a blue lotus. A blue lotus representing self-knowledge. All the things we mentioned before. Allow that blue ray of light to stream across your brow, to seep down into the face. And then allow the blue light to form a cord that travels down through the spine, down through the base of your body, and allow it to be tethered to the deep, rich soil below the earth's crust. Remembering a lotus cannot bloom unless it's rooted in the ground. As you're sitting with this blue lotus, we'll use our voices and we'll chant Om together. Let's first bring our hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position at the heart. But set your drishti in and up towards your mind's eye. We'll chant Om on the breath out. So let's take a deep breath in first. Om. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May we all walk away from this practice being free and at peace from anything out of our control, anything imposed upon us by another, or any internal stressors of our own. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaste.